Well, hi, everybody. This is Dear Mama Sal, and we are live on a Friday evening, and we are going to have some fun today. We're going to cook some chicken, and what I'm going to do is to see how many different things I can make with 2 chicken breasts. And I apologize for needing to change the link for those of you who are coming onto the live broadcast. A glitch happened, and I just needed to come in on a new link. So let me just make sure that Jody is aware of that. Just hold on one second. Jody being our admin, which is rather important for our lives. Here we go. That's got Jody on board, hopefully. And hi, it is good to see you. And we hopefully will have a bit of fun tonight. So I've got a situation where I thought I was going to have some company this week, yesterday. And what I did was I pulled out some chicken and defrosted it. And what I'm going to, yes, Kimmy, I can see you. Thank you. What I've done is decided what I'm going to do is cook them for you tonight. Let's see how many different things we can make with 2 chicken breasts. I thought that would be interesting to do. I also want to do an experiment with making, I'm not sure if I can do it, but I want to show you the principle of doing it. And I'll explain why I'm not sure if I can do it. Making cloth wraps for food. Have any of you, wax wraps made with material to use with food? Have any of you made them? And if not, I thought I would show you so that the principle. I had one rather small problem that I only realized at the last moment, and I'll talk to you about that as soon as I can. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is I have just washed my hands. I'm going to get out the chicken, and the first thing we're going to do is some kebabs. So just give me a second to get the things out of the fridge, because these are, not things you want to have lying around for a while. Just so that you know, I've got 2 chicken breasts in here. Both of them have been marinating in soy sauce and lime for a couple of hours. And I'm going to take one out. And this is what I keep my funny bags for. I'm going to take one out to start with. And that way my hands don't get all gungy. And I'm going to put the second chicken breast back in the fridge. And I'm just going to get some things out. And I'm going to get one more thing. And the reason that I didn't get all this out on show and looked like I really knew what I was doing is because it is 108 in my window. That would be about 42 Celsius. So I didn't want anything sitting out longer than it needed to. Okay, there we go. So the first thing I'm going to do is some kebabs. And you can see the chicken here. Nothing unusual about it. Oh, I marinated it in lime juice, soy sauce, and some salt and pepper. Just to make sure I'm honest. So I'm just going to cut it into strips. And we've got just going to do it into smaller strips. There we go. Actually, I have to say that these chicken breasts I got in bulk, and they actually had more meat on them than I thought. Yeah, that's quite a lot of meat for one chicken breast. I think you'll agree. All right, so now then, let me see what comments are here. All right, let me see here. Isabel's saying soy sauce and lime. This must be so good. I really want to tell you, I don't think there's a better way to marinate chicken than in soy sauce and lime. And so now, what we're going to do, Kimmy, I did say hello to you, and I did acknowledge you. So what I'm going to do now is get some kebab sticks. Which I have had soaking. I've had them soaking in water, okay? And so that is good. And what else have we got here? I've got some onion. I've got some, those peppers are for later. It's for my second meal. We've got some, that's also for later. Well, no, maybe we can use that now. All right, so we've got some, I've got some red and orange peppers, some onion, and some orange. I don't know about you, but I really like orange with my chicken. So that's what we're going to do. Quite simply, I've got this on, and it's on at actually quite a low temperature. I've only got it on at 2, but I think you'll see that it is. Why do you need to soak? Why do you need to soak the sticks? So they don't burn. Really, I mean, I just got into the habit of doing that with barbecues. But if you soak them, you know, these have been soaking for about an hour. They're not going to burn on you, which I quite like. So really, very simple stuff, people. We're literally going to take, we're going to start with some onion. And then a piece of chicken. We're going to put a pepper, piece of chicken. I'm going to put some orange. Now the orange is going to fall apart, but what it will do is it will also go over the chicken. So I like that. And then I'm going to put another onion this way, and then start again. All right, another one, piece of chicken. Some oh, we want red pepper this time, don't we? Oh, let's do both. Let's go mad. Okay, and then a bit of orange. And a bit more onion. Good one. I'm going to thread this through this way. Okay, and then one last little bit of chicken. And the last bit of onion. Now then, I think you'll agree that, and that's the orange falling apart already. This is going to create a fairly healthy spread of vegetables, in here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of oil on here. Okay, and then I'm going to just get that one going. And now we'll quickly do the other one. Had to get 3 out of this after all. Wasn't expecting that. Okay. Sweet. Now I'm hoping that my exhaust fan is not going to be too noisy for you. Otherwise my smoke alarm might go off. Oh, that's interesting. Isabel's saying, I wish I was on the same clock as you. I'd be going to buy some right now. All right, so that's good. And I'm just going to cook up the last of this on its own so that I can have this over a salad or something. So already the one chicken breast, that's 1 meal, 2 meals, and now also a lunch. That's pretty good. And I might as well just use up what's here. Adding onto there. Okay, so that's just the leftovers here. Yum. Okay, and in the meantime, what I'm going to do is stuff the other chicken. So I'm going to put these away. Make myself a bit of room here. Bring out the other chicken. And then hit. No, the other chicken stuff. Okay. Now, again, a pretty fair-sized piece of chicken. As I said, I was actually pleasantly surprised at the size of the chicken. Hi there, Nasha. All right, so what I'm going to do is, instead of just doing the normal thing with it, I thought I would stuff it in a horizontal way. In other words, I'm going to make cuts into it like this. Okay. And then I'm going to stuff it with different things. So the first thing I thought would be interesting is this is Babybel cheese. So I'm going to put a couple of bits of Babybel in there. Oh. And then, as you know, I do like orange with my chicken, so I'm going to put some mandarin orange in the next segment. And I'm going to put some orange pepper in there and some red pepper in with the mandarins. There we go. And I thought that it would be interesting. Hold on one second. Forgive me, I was so busy I didn't get my beverage on, so I'm quickly going to grab something. All right, so what I thought would be interesting would be to take some ham, slice of ham, and some string cheese, which of course doesn't want to cooperate with me today. Joys of doing it live, people. Come on now. Okay, plan B. Yeah. No, fancy. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is take the string cheese and wrap it up in the ham. Okay, like this. And then cut it in half. And I'm going to put one at the end here. I'll put one in the middle here. And then this next one, I'm going to just repeat the Babybel and some bread. All right, so put more mandarin. So what do you think? Does that look like an interesting combination of things to eat? Hi, Karen. So what I wanted to show you was, while this is cooking, I am at the same time going to put this. So what we have done is not a nice thing to discuss while it's live. So what we're going to do is see that I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I bet that one chicken breast will last me for 2 meals. What I will do though is I will cut it this way, so I get all the flavors. Now, how simple was that? All right, and we're just going to let that quietly cook. Now, what I want you to do, if you will, is tell me if you'd been slicing the chicken and stuffing it, what sort of things would you have liked to put in it? Because I've just done what I happen to have in the fridge. So let's hear what you would have liked. And then let's have some input there. I also had some cream cheese as a possibility. But I didn't use it. I also just want to put some more. I'm going to put black pepper on top of this. Okay, that's good. And over the chicken, I'm going to put some Earl Grey, Major Grey chutney, which has a tang to it. It's really nice. Okay. Now we're just going to let that cook. I wanted to ask you, what else would you put with it? What do you like to have with chicken? Because let's give everybody ideas. The spice that I mentioned, or the chutney, Isabel? This is, I really love the tang of this. This is Major Grey chutney. And it just has, there are lots of different makes of it. You know what I mean? I just happen to have what's left in this bottle, but there are lots of different people make it. So the thing to look for is Major Grey chutney. I found chutney is a really nice way to give a lot of flavor to something without using a lot. All right, so I probably used a tablespoon for all of that. By the way, what has it got in it? Let me hold my hands far away. What does it have in it? Sugar, mango, salt, citric acid, spices. That's it. So mango is its base. I want to get my ham back in the fridge. So I think you would agree, though, really simple to put together. But how interesting does a kebab look? So let me ask you, for the kebabs, what would you put them on? A bed of what? Some of you would prefer rice. Some of you might put it over a bed of noodles. Some of you may, I've got some chow mein that I made that I'm going to have with the kebabs tonight. Yum. There you go. Thanks, Isabel. Isabel is saying that she would add Swiss cheese and some cream of mushroom. What a wonderful combination. All right. And so I also find cream of mushroom, you don't have to use a whole can, just use a tablespoon and put it over the top because it tastes like you spent hours in the kitchen making that sauce, right? And just put a tablespoon over each chicken breast. And as you can see, this one chicken breast is big enough to last me for 2 meals, especially now that I've added to it, right? I've got the ham and the cheese in there, so there's more protein in there as well. So that's going to be a pretty substantial meal. Some of you will have the chicken maybe with a salad. The thing is to think about the fact that you can have all these things, and just what I like to do is, okay, once a week I allow myself some pasta. But, sometimes it's ramen noodles, for example. And I may choose to have those crunched over a salad, or I may choose to have them cooked. And then once a week I allow myself, have, sort of a cup of rice. I can choose to make that into a dessert or into, a main meal. For those of you who enjoy quinoa, all right, also lovely to have with chicken. So get creative. I think the most difficult thing with things like chicken is how many different ways can you cook it, all right, and make it interesting. But for summertime, I like to do things. I could have done this on my barbecue, if I had somebody here for dinner tonight. All right, very easy to put together, but people really love the fact that it's not just a piece of chicken, that there's more to it than that. Now, I don't mind telling you, this is beginning to smell good. And there's part of me that thinks it would have been a good idea to partially cook the top of the chicken before I stuffed it. But I didn't. So we're just going to let it cook longer. A Greek salad, yes, would be lovely with it. I don't do garlic, but I can make a Greek salad without garlic. Tzatziki, that is what in there? There's obviously garlic in there, but what else is in there? I'm certain I had it, but I just not sure. It's like it's like, have any of you had monkey gland? It's called monkey gland. It isn't really. But that's like a teriyaki type sauce that they make in Africa. Oh, it's a sour cream. Okay, that would be very nice. I have sour cream. Good. And what else can we think of? What else could we have put in there? Any of you, would consider putting prawns with your chicken, for example, in some of the slots? That would be interesting. I like the idea of putting mushrooms. That would be really nice. Would the halogen have cooked the chicken? Yes, but with the temperature in here already over 100, I thought one thing on would be more than enough. Ace, I'm going to ask you not to keep asking that question, please, if you wouldn't mind. Otherwise, we're going to need to mute you for a little while. All right, so while this is cooking, I wanted to get, so our focus this weekend is about beating up on yourself. And for those of you who are human, I'm pretty sure you probably do that. And so what I've got here is what I thought some interesting quotes about people beating up on themselves. And the first one is this. Come on now. You were born an original. Don't die a copy. All right? Don't die a copy. Really important for you to understand you are who you are, and that's what makes you so special. I agree, Jody. Don't worry. And so try to work on the fact that you are who you are, and who you are is good enough. But what happens is that voice in your head, that self-critic, will start beating up on yourself. And what it says is, stop beating up on yourself. You are a work in progress, which means you can get there a little at a time, not all at once. I was saying at lunchtime that I was beating up on myself because here I am making all these changes in my life, all the food changes, all the exercise changes, and I am still not sliding through keyholes. Now, And I got quite upset, and I started to say things like, this is ridiculous. I haven't lost any weight. And that isn't true. I have. I've lost at least 10 pounds. And I have lost, at least 4 inches just around my stomach alone. So it's not true that I have not improved myself. It's just taking a whole lot longer than I would like. But does it also make sense that I am not prepared to be perfect about the food that I eat? I'm not prepared to go full keto, for example, and lose this in a hurry. So now I need to be patient and stop beating up on myself. Be patient. You're doing the right things. It's just going to take a while longer. It took me a long time to get to the weight that I was at. All right. And by the way, while we talk about that, Pat, I'm glad you're here. Jody goes for her gastric bypass on Monday. So we're all got our thumbs and fingers and all our toes crossed for her. Oh, and while I think about it as well, Lauren became a great auntie yesterday. So isn't that wonderful? I forgot to mention that at lunchtime. How about this one? Don't give up on yourself. Fight for yourself and what you stand for. In life, you've got to go through some bad times to get to the good. When I think about that, I was saying at lunchtime that whole thing that we quoted with Anthony Hopkins, right? What he had to say about really how much of your day are you wasting on people that don't care about you or things that really aren't important to your life? And how much of your energy and space do they actually take up? And, I thought it was a very relevant quote because our inner critic says, oh, but you've got to be a better friend to them. Or maybe if I love them more, they will love me more. No, forget that. It's about be happy, people. The way that we live a happy life is to be around people that we enjoy, not people we don't enjoy. And, part of the problem is we are conditioned to be nice people. How many of you agree with that one? Well, if I don't keep tab of them, they might never call me back. Get over it. You could be right. And don't you want to know that? And so to me, it's about if you have your confidence, you will not worry about losing a friend or two. I remember Pat talking to me years ago when she was having problem with family members. And she actually got up and she decided she was going to basically cut them out of her life. And, Pat, I always remember you for that. Yes, exactly, Pat. Don't depend on others for your happiness. But what I was saying at lunchtime, and I'm going to carry on that theme, is that my self-critic was talking to me about my health, right, my weight. And I do listen. I'm a great believer that my self-critic is there to try and help me. And so when my self-critic was beating up on me, I didn't ignore it. All right. I realized that was something that I needed to listen to. And then I said, what have you done to check whether there's some reason you're not losing this weight? And I immediately made an appointment with my doctor, and I've just had a full bank of, labs done. And that, there are a couple of issues going on for me at the moment that I wasn't aware of, but I needed to be aware of. So if you think about it, that inner critic muttering about my weight wasn't a bad thing. All right. I didn't give it a lot of space. I said, I hear you, and I will take a step in the right direction. I'm reading a book about habits that says if you do a 1% improvement every day, just 1%, it's enough. Let me turn these over. Oh, the cheese is melting. Oh, that's looking good, people. Okay, that's looking really good. Yum. Now then, if I try to turn the chicken over, I could totally ruin it. Is it worth it, do you think? It does look good. And yum. I really am very pleased with that. Hold on 1 second. I need a fork. Okay, this was that one little piece. Yeah, it was a family member, Kimmy. Mm. Okay, do kebabs this week, people. Mm. That tastes so good. Um, I hate to say that, but there was a lot of pepper on it, and it had a lot of the crustacean. When I say the crustacean, from the oil on there first, and now it's so good. Okay, so I still think I want to turn that over, even if it messes it up. So make a bit more room. The small kebab is just about done. Should have a second. Okay, let's see if we can turn this over. The reason I want to turn it over is I want that major gray to caramelize. Yum. All right, now the question is, which am I going to eat tonight? What do you think? Um, you know, so Kimmy, are you feeling that there's a family member of yours that isn't listening to you? Is that what's wrong? Just going to drink the juice out of it. I love mandarin juice. Okay, so my biggest problem is going to be not eating this while I continue the broadcast. This first skewer is done. So I'm going to put that on one side. And quite simply, I'm just going to put it straight onto a plate. All right, so I just took a fork and put it straight onto a plate. So I can snack on it. I'm pretty sure now that all the goodies that we stuffed into that chicken breast are also done now. And the onion's going to take a little bit longer. And so what I'm going to do is I'm pretty sure the chicken is done. Let me just double check that. That's what I've got to do that for, right? Chicken. Yeah. So the chicken is done. Check another part, just to make sure. Went green. I can do a little bit more, but it's basically done as well. So we'll just give it a few more minutes. What about the chicken on the kebabs? Also can do with a little bit more. So there you go. The smaller kebab, the chicken was closer, it didn't have the onions supporting it. So that'll be fine. And I will show you how fine that's going to be. Yeah, it is. The chicken is done. Oh, hi, Autumn. Autumn, could we get an update, please? How are you and the twin? Mm. And now what I'm going to do is just to make sure is the stuffed chicken. I am just going to put another lot of string cheese on it just so that I can make sure that it's cooked, that it's got that far along. Okay, it's good. The rest will just cook a little bit longer. I must admit, I really thought I was going to have the kebabs tonight, but I think I'm going to have the full chicken breast. Not the full one, but half of it. Making a big mess here. So for those of you who came in late, just so you know, what we did is we took 2 chicken breasts, and I have basically made 1, 2, 3, 4 meals and and a snack. This is the reward for cooking, right? So there we go. All right, let me see what Kimmy's going here. All right, so Kimmy, if somebody is constantly treating you that badly, you know what you might want to consider? Oh, hang on a second, Pat. Congratulations, but I'll come back to you. All right, so think about this, Kim. If they are constantly treating you that badly, you might want to say, I am trying to give you my side of this, but you are ignoring me. Perhaps you'd be good enough to phone me back when you would like my side of the story. And put the phone down. Does that make sense, Kim? If you and don't do it the first time they do it, but you say 3 times, I have tried to tell you my side of this, and 3 times you have shut me down or cut me off. So if you ever want to hear my side of the story, contact me. Obviously, you have no wish to do so tonight. And I would put the phone down. All right, and just say, and I now need to say goodbye. So the part of the problem that we have, Kim, and everybody here will understand it, is we don't get to choose our family members, all right? And so from that perspective, I was telling you not so long ago, I've got one person in my life that literally every time I hear from them, I hear a complaint about a neighbor that they've got every single time. And I just shake my head and go, do something about it. Don't keep complaining about it. Do something about it. So if you allow the abuse to continue, then you're part of the problem, Kim. I know you understand that. So the thing is, they need to understand that you're not going to tolerate it. All right. Now, I am presuming that you have looked good and hard at both sides of the story. All right. because that is really important that you look at both sides. I would also really hear what they're trying to tell you. And that takes a great deal of patience. You remember I had the run-in with my neighbor on the other side, Kim. But what I did is, before I took any action, I thought about, now let me be her for a second and see things through her eyes. And that gave me, a different perspective. It didn't fix it, but it gave me a different perspective and made me more tolerant of what was going on. And it also calmed me down because it told me where to concentrate my energy. So when we talk about this whole thing about beating up on ourselves, I do believe, somebody had talked about it, one of the viewers had talked about it during the week. And I thought, I do it, and therefore one of my viewers is doing it, therefore a lot of you will relate to it. And I would like you to see it as a positive flag, all right? If you start beating up on yourself, perhaps you could tell me, what sort of things do you beat up on yourself about? Could you tell me that? How about this one? It said, I'm trying to see who this was from. Gail Goodwin said, beating up on yourself is like trying to get out of a hole while digging it deeper. And one of the things we learned at lunchtime is one of the ways to stop doing that is be kind to yourself. Right? Be kind to yourself, Kimmy, that you still can't control these people and you never will. Right? It's, they're not going to change unless you do. And that is the sadness of it. I need to turn this over. Okay. And I'm pretty sure that that is now done. Let's just make sure. Okay. Definitely done. So we're good. And what I'm going to do, but I want to cut it in half. Yeah, don't look for trouble. Now I need those onions to cook a little bit faster, so what I'm going to do is just let them steam a little bit. Now, are you prepared to let me cut this down the middle and maybe make a total mess, but so you can see the different flavors? Before I do, I'm going to I made a little present for Yvonne tomorrow, but I'm just going to cut the tops off these spring onions for her. For that, I need my scissors, which are here. Okay. And what do you think? A tad of paprika over the top of that? So just a little bit of paprika going on. There we go. And now I'm going to attempt to cut it down the center for you. So bear with me if it makes a mess. All right, so what I want you to be able to see is that it is perfectly cooked. We've got it, it's charred at the bottom. How many of you going, that's the good stuff, Sal? All right, and then I've got the yellow pepper, I've got the mandarin, I've got the red pepper, I've got the ham and cheese, and whatever else it was that I put in there. But how many of you can see that that's a really nice little meal? All right, that I can thoroughly enjoy and will. So what I want you to do is to understand how creative you can be. And by the way, the things I put in today are my usual thing. What have I got in the fridge that I need to use up? What have I got in the cupboard? You know, I have this much left of my major gray. So I knew I wanted to add that in. Kimmy, I'm suggesting that do it in a way that leaves the ball in their court. In other words, I have tried to tell you my side of the story. You are choosing not to listen. However, if you would like to hear my side, please contact me. In the meantime, I'm finding this toxic because you are just talking at me, not with me. And so I need to end this call now. Call me if you want to have a two-way conversation. Right? And it leaves it, who started that call, by the way? Did you start it? Did you feel it was time you needed to contact them? Because what I'm suggesting here, Kimmy, is that quite often we end up creating our own problem. This is part of me going, please tell me that I'm not going to eat all of this tonight. Oh, they did contact you. All right. So, you know, that was, you maybe ask them a straight question. Perhaps, you know, you can tell me why you contacted me. And then shut up and hear what they have to say. Because it's pretty obvious they don't want to hear your side of anything. And, you know, why try and give it to them, Kim? Just know they don't care about your side. Jeannie, I thoroughly recommend the chicken dish. I missed the comment about tarragon. Okay, your favorite spice while cooking chicken is tarragon. I keep trying to grow it. So I have got the seeds and I'm having a difficulty growing it, but I will actually buy some so I can enjoy it. Thank you for adding it. And that's why I said, what do you guys like to add with chicken? All right, obviously I like lime and soy sauce to start with, right? That's the best thing That's steam. It is the best thing I know to marinate. Oh, gosh, that's cooking a bit soft. You see, I needed that little bit of water so I can loosen up the caramelization on the bottom here. Oh, right? Yeah, Autumn, you would add garlic. You know I can't do that. But exactly. So the thing is, how many different versions of this could you do? And you could do one chicken breast a week or one chicken dinner a week using totally different things. And it would be so tasty. And in the summer, right, you can add all these things to it, um, and make it so tasty. To me, the mandarins just make it so tasty. So, pretty simple, I hope. Do you all agree? Ah, yeah. Pat's adding to it that in her family, the only thing they ever told her was that they wanted money. That's why they phoned. And then Pat just stopped answering those calls. And I think it took a lot of courage to do that. Oh, you learned something about me today. By the way, mm, I want to tell you, um, the I put that extra bump of black pepper on it. Oh, well, I definitely a do-over. All right. And how many of you agree that half one of those is plenty? All right. So you could plate half one of those up with a salad on one, really nice line of a lettuce, and then a nice completion of different other vegetables, and it would look magnificent. What do you think? And we spent an hour doing that in total to cook all of it. So this is what I call pre-prepping with a mission. And the crusty stuff on the bottom is what will give it the extra taste. Because we know that crusty stuff has got black pepper in it as well. Actually, I lie. I lie. I actually filled my pepper grinder up with all the peppers. Yeah, if cooking for two. Oh, you're saying that half a chicken breast each is plenty? Or are you saying quarter of a chicken breast is plenty? I think half one of those with the salad is a lot. I probably could do with even quarter of a chicken breast like that and make it a meal. And remember how much money I saved by buying those chicken breasts in bulk. All right. Right. Autumn is saying, I've had to eat really clean lately because my baby has allergies. Grilled vegetables have been my favorite with chicken. Also rice and salad with it. Yes. So just if you can, be more and more aware of how much, I got the X now, how much of them. Yeah, I think it is a wonderful idea. Yes, and some of you will do a couple of slices of potato with it, So I think that we can learn quite a bit. This is all protein. Am I right in that? Well, no, the vegetables aren't protein, but it's got ham in it, it's got cheese in it. What about bacon in it? Oh, forgot that. That would have been nice too. Some bacon in there would have been a nice addition. Next time. So that works really well, and I'm pretty sure that should be done now. But we'll just make sure. I don't want it sitting around if it isn't. Falling apart. I'm pretty sure it's done. Yep, well and truly done. And that one. Okay. So the kebabs are done as well. And again, I'm just going to take a fork. If I can find it. Oh, I just ate it. So all I'm going to do is to take a fork and all right, and just hold it this end, and then just slide the kebab off it. Okay. And turn that off. Let it cool. And clear some space. So just remember, there wasn't a great deal to it, but it just is going to taste so much different. Let me see what the words are here. Jody's saying she could live on roasted vegetables. All right, so Lucille, gosh, she's visiting already. She's coming in August. Okay. All right, so that'll be fun for you. She loves broccoli. Yes, it's funny. It depends what you're given as a child. You know what I mean? If you are taught to like broccoli, you will, or spinach, or those things. All right, now I missed what Nyasha had to say about her hearing. All right, so yes, she's got the volume down, so you can hear it on the replay. That's good thinking. All right, so let's make some space here so we can try the next experiment. And let these cool. By the way, my bamboo sticks, you do know I don't throw them away, right? I will just soak them in water and then I put them in the dishwasher and I reuse them. I know bamboo is one of those things that is easy to regenerate, but why when you can reuse them? And the same with my wooden chopsticks, right? I use them a lot for stirring things and I reuse them all the time. All right, hang on a second, people. Okay, that's where. By the way, one of the things I put on there, I didn't put straight salt, and I didn't mention that the salt that I used is this one, which is like a lemon pepper salt, and I use it very sparingly because, you know, heart, blood pressure things, but it really is the tastiest salt to add, and so really about once a week I add a bit of salt, but it's this one. Okay. So now I got it all over the floor. Wonderful stuff. Oh, remember at lunchtime I showed you the sun-dried tomatoes? I did reconstitute them just so that you can see. I meant to put them in the chicken, but they really did reconstitute very well. So now it's just, they're now 3 halves of tomato and tomato liquid now. So I'm going to add that to some sauce or whatever rather than waste it. Okay. Now, over the weeks, you will have noticed that I really use very little plastic wrap. I'm inclined to use these things for a lot of things I would normally use plastic wrap for. And, I've got bigger ones and then even bigger ones. But what I wanted to show you was a very simple way of making wax wraps. Do any of you use them? Basically what they are is a material that has wax in it. And so you just bend it like you would cling wrap or something, and it wraps onto itself because of the wax. So here's what you do. So the first thing you need is some material, and I'm going to take some. This would be there. All right, so I just cut a bit of material, and pretty easy. And now I've got some shaved wax that I've got in the microwave, and I'm going to heat that up. And I just want to get a bigger baggie. Hold on 1 second, people. Now, I'm going to tell you the easy way to do it, and that is to have the material crumble some beeswax over it, and then put another layer of something that is, a non-stick thing, non-stick paper. What do you call it? Wax paper would be good. And then put the wax paper on top of the wax, and then iron it with a low heat iron. Hi, Jamie. That is the idea of it. Now, the challenge that I had was I went, okay, good night, Pep. All I need is to find my iron. Apparently that has not been unpacked yet, or if it was, I have no idea where I put it. And I think I've thought of all the obvious places, but never mind. You get the idea, right? You get the idea of how you do it. So what I decided was, what's plan B? The plan B is that it really doesn't want to. I was hoping that muting it would break it up enough that it would melt. But it didn't. So I'm just going to show you anyway, so you get the idea. So what you do is you just, can you all see that? You just make shred the wax, all right? And then put it in little bits across your material. Then put your second layer of wax paper on it, and then iron it into the thing. And once you've done that, you will end up with material that has wax in it, and therefore will act as a food wrap. Now, if you happen to be a craft person that has got an awful lot of material in the house, if anybody came in and saw it, they would presume that your hobby was collecting material. This is a great way to use it. And that's what I wanted you to see. I know I'm going to have to probably borrow somebody's iron so that I can do it. But do you understand the principle of it? And what I'm going to do, what I'm going to do is to make some for my friends, all right? And just put them in a nice bag and little instructions on it, what it is. Good night, Autumn. Good to see you. I'm glad that my voice had that effect for you. So think about that, and a very good idea for those of you who have a lot of material in the house. Okay, so how many of you collect material? What I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap this all up and put it in the baggie and see what it does in the hothouse. You know where the hothouse is, right? So I'm just going to put it there. And because the temperatures went well over 100, I might actually just put it, wrap it in some foil and heat it quietly in my toaster oven. That's an even better idea. So there's a nice idea for an easy Christmas present idea if you have material in the house and and I'm talking about, you need fairly thin cotton material sort of stuff. Good. Every week I'm going to try and give you one more cheap, what I call not a cheap idea in your being cheap, but one that's not going to cost you a lot of money, and that is useful for other people. Jeannie's saying that her granddaughter is already with them now, but her birthday is in August. So is mine, unfortunately. And I say, unfortunately, they're getting up there now. No, that's not what I want. What do I need? Come on, guys. I need my quotes here. So let's see what it is. How many of you understand that when you're beating yourself up, it's not really achieving anything good unless you can be aware? Hello, I'm beating myself up. Therefore, I need to listen to my inner voice and do something. That's what it's there for, is to remind me to do something to help myself. If you can do that, then the inner voice is not just your critic, but it actually is your motivator as well. And this quote said, lift yourself up instead of beating yourself up. So one of the things we learned at lunchtime was you need to be kind to yourself, all right? If you are somebody who beats up a lot, the chances are you're a perfectionist. And you need to be more patient with yourself because you deserve that. You deserve to have a little bit of patience with it. Everything takes its own time. Jody, you have spent 2 years getting ready for this operation. And, I'm just so happy for you that you get to do it. And that's really sad to hear, Jeannie. Hi there, Eric. Good to see you. Jeannie, do you want me to repeat that, Jeannie, or just keep it amongst the people who are on the thread tonight? Let me know while I finish the mandarins here. Eric, thank you so much for the aloe vera thing. I did put more on this afternoon, and it's been fine. Yeah, Jody's saying it's been a long journey, and but well worth it. Yeah, and Jeannie is saying not to repeat what she wrote, which is what I thought, Jeannie. That's why I like to check every now and then. How about this one? View your life with hindsight. Stop beating yourself up about things from your past. Instead of slapping your fair forehead and asking, what was I thinking? Breathe and ask yourself a kinder question. What was I learning? Yeah, Jody, you not only taught yourself a lot about fasting, but you taught the rest of us as well. So that is really important. Please, Jenny, thoughts and prayers are with you and with York, obviously. So I like that. View your life with hindsight. How many of you can? No, Alexa, not you. Alexa, stop. Thank you. If you want to create a new tomorrow, you have to stop beating yourself up yesterday, right? For yesterday, all right? So whatever you didn't do yesterday, for those of you who've got a to-do list as long as your arm, you do understand you will get done the things that have to get done. You know that. If I want to tell you, if I ever completed my to-do list, I would be horrified, right? Because I have so many things on my to-do list at any one time. I've had to stop putting dates. I had to stop putting dates to them. You know, I write down something and I think, okay, I want to tackle that next week. I've had to stop putting dates on it because why? There are too many things. I have too many things in that list. And so what I do now is I make the list and I categorize it into things for my home, things for me, things for my finances, things for, whatever, family and friends. And then once a week, I go through the total list and go, what is important to me this week? Because it can change. As I was saying at lunchtime, that find the hedge trimmers has been on that list since March. I knew I was going to need it. And it's taken me this long. But life's timing is perfect. Do you want me to repeat that or not, Bernice? Let me know. And it's okay. I want to tell you that, Bernice, it's okay for your emotions to be up and down. But first, let me know if I can repeat that, because if not, I will word what I want to say a different way. Okay. So what Bernice is basically saying is that she not only celebrated birthdays, but also she had thoughts of her papa passing. What date did he pass, Bernice? Just so you had the happy stuff along with the not so happy stuff. So, okay, you forgot. That's all right. But it brought back memories for you of him passing. So understand that's what grief is about, Bernice. Grief will keep coming back in waves. And funny enough, it is quite normal for it to come at a time when you are actually feeling happy and celebrating. And you almost, I don't know if this happened to you, but it certainly has happened to me, where I almost feel guilty for being happy. There's the inner critic goes, what are you happy about? You had a passing in the family. Why are you laughing? Well, guess what? It is okay to be happy. And that is what your daddy would want for you. Hi, Kez. Good to see you. You need to do 100% more than you do to be your own cheerleader. Yes. So understand that speeding up on ourselves is something that I think most of us do, if you're honest. All right. And so the question that I have for you, Kez, is does it do you any good? If you can hear it and go, okay, I hear that you want me to pay attention to this. Let me think what my next step is. That's a positive way of dealing with it. Your inner critic is just giving you a heads up. Remember, mine was going on about my weight and things, and I went, okay, so it's my health that's worrying you. Let me get to the doctor and get a full bank of tests and see what happens. It makes sense. I use the inner critic for good return. All right, so Bernice is saying, I don't feel guilty because I know he wants me to be happy. I just feel sad because he couldn't greet me this year and tease me like always. Okay, now then, Bernice, I got to ask you a very honest question. Did he, in your mind, tease you this year? Did you see him in your mind? Did you hear him? And did he tease you? Because I'd be very surprised if you didn't get all of that. That you didn't replay a time where he did that. In which case, he did. Yes, he did, and it was annoying. You see? And so understand he's always going to be there for you. Right? He's always going to be there teasing you. I say it a lot about my neighbor next door, Bernice, when I say things. I'm just pretending to care here. It's just like, but she knows I do. So it is important for us to understand that we get to control whether this is a negative or a positive. And remember that the secret to a happy life is not to measure yourself by somebody else's measuring stick. All right? When I do these live cooking things, I know that the chances of it all falling apart is so good. All right? But to me, that's half the fun of it. I like to believe that just because I mentioned kebabs this week, that some of you are going, it's been a while since we've had kebabs. That's a good idea. Or, you saw me stuff that chicken breast and see how good that looked and go, wow, I'm really going to think of some fun things to do that like that. So all the time, what I'm trying to do is go, how can I make this meat go farther and therefore save money? But I don't think that looked like a meal that was lacking in size. All right. So, Jeannie, it's a pleasure. Sleep well, honey, and keep looking after yourself. All right. Nia's just saying, I definitely need that. A slap on the forehead to remind me to also stop beating up on myself. I believe that attributed to my high blood pressure. Yes, did you? I don't know if you heard this, Nyasha, but my blood pressure was up this week when I went to the doctor. Highest that it's been for the longest time. But was it because I knew there was possibly something wrong and that I was actually seeing my doctor face to face for the first time in over a year? So I don't know. How about this one? Trust yourself. You've survived a lot. You will survive what is happening right now, too. Imagine the stress that Jody had, where she knew she was about to have an operation and then suddenly got an infection that could have stopped it. I'm certain her blood pressure went up a bit on that one. Marie Curie said, hold on a second. Well, she would have done if the quote hadn't disappeared from me. I love it when it does that. Hold on one second. I've got to get it back again now. Okay, can't believe I just hit totally the wrong button, people. Let me see if I can get it back. Good job you guys are patient with me. We're nearly there. No, I'm not going to be able to find that particular one, apparently. Anyway, there's absolutely no point in beating up on yourself. Focus on going forward. All right, so hear the inner voice. As I said, be kind to yourself and go, okay, I need to spend a bit more attention on my health. Let me take one more step. Bernice is saying, I've also been stressed out about my status for a green card process. Having tons of meltdowns and all emotions all over the place, because there's a chance I might get sent back to the Philippines to be away from my family here. But God has been helping a ton with our lawyers, so I'm just letting things happen and just do what I can and trusting my hubby to do what he can. You know, the fear of getting a no after all these years of being here is frustrating. But letting go and trying not to have those negative emotions are taking a toll on me. I can imagine they would. Avoiding my meds at all cost is just as bad. You bet it is. That is, with all due respect, that is not like you at all. All right. And also, you forgive me, Bernice, but that's also stupid. All right. Because you're going to make yourself sick. That's what you're doing. You're going to worry yourself sick. You're going to worry so much you don't take your meds, and then you're not going to take your meds and make yourself more sick. And can you get the meds that you need if you do end up back in the Philippines? So think about these things. You don't want to make yourself more sick, honey. Wait 1 second. You just need to put a bit of water on that other side. So do you understand what I'm saying about worrying yourself sick? Not a good thing to do. Not going to help you one bit. And here is the thing. Why do you think they're going to say no? Right? You've been here. How long have you been married now? How long have you been married? So, but it's all happening at the same time. Of course, it's a stressor. I totally understand that. I'm glad you're talking about it. So here's the thing. You've looked at it from both sides, obviously. They might ask you to go back for 6 months, but I don't think they're going to make you go back and never let you come back again. You've been married since 2017. I think that shows, that this was not a marriage of convenience. All right. So I don't know why. Okay, let's look at it this way. Is it all about getting a green card? In other words, that you need to work, or can you stay as you are but not work? Oh, okay. And I'm not going to ask you what that is. If you want to tell me privately in an email or something, Bernice, you go right ahead. Obviously, whatever that is not something we want to talk about publicly. So, I'm sorry to hear you've got the problem. I am not surprised you're worried. And just understand my comment about please do what you can not to worry yourself sick. Okay, so think about that. And you trust God a great deal. So whatever happens, whichever way it goes, understand there's a good reason for it. You know, that in 5 years from now, it will make more sense. Good. I am pleased to hear that. Right? Under that high stress, I'm doing everything I can to calm me and take care of my husband. Absolutely. Good girl. I'm proud of you. If beating up on yourself worked, I'd be rich, thin, and happy. How many of you going, I know what you mean? Try loving yourself instead. You know, Bernice, I'm trying to think, is there any way in which we can help you at this time? You know, that you can think of? Can we, do you need more contact from us? What can we do for you? And just so you guys know, I have managed to lose the, again, um,
An apple a day keeps the weight
hold
loss
on,
away.
I need to get rid of that. There we go. All right, so I lost the feed for the comments, but I've now learned that I can do that by going onto my channel a different way. I get so challenged with these things. Uh-oh, what did I do? Please tell me I didn't disconnect the stream. Did I disconnect the stream? I don't think so. Okay, I think it's on another page. So funny. Got it. I'm back again. Okay. You know, the old days when it's something about I press something and then the words go away. But now I've learned I just have to go to my channel and see it as a viewer, and the comments are there. So thank you for your patience, everybody. Wow. So here is the thing, though. Nyasha's saying, put positive things out into the atmosphere and it will happen. Good luck to you, my friend. Yes, I actually, I understand that. You know, if you put good vibes out, good vibes will come back, but you don't know what good vibes are. And what I'm trying to say here, Bernice, is maybe whatever is about to happen is a good thing, but it just doesn't look like it at the moment. All right? And that is something that you may need to wrap your head around. But please keep us informed. When will you find out? That would be important to know. When will you find out what the answer is on this? When do you go in front of a judge? Susan Jeffers, who you know I quote quite often, said, "One step at a time is enough for me. Impatience is simply a way of beating up on yourself." Totally agree. And you can spend your life beating up on yourself for something that happened yesterday. You die if you don't follow your desire. And you die inside is what it means. You know, it's like, really ask yourself every day, what did I do today to make me happy? Not what did I do to keep the accountant happy? What did I do to keep my neighbors happy, my friends happy? What did I do to make me happy? Good night, Kimmy. Sleep well. And it's really important that you do that for yourself. And don't beat up on yourself for taking time for you. Kelly Armstrong said, I want you to have big dreams and big goals. I want you to strive to achieve them. But I don't want you beating up on yourself every time you make a mistake. All right? Now, I made a mistake and I lost the scroll of the comments. Um, to me, it's like these things happen. Just carry on, right? All right, so you have to have everything ready by August the 12th. And they will then get back to you. Okay, so just concentrate on that one step, getting everything ready by that date. Well done. And sleep well, Kimmy. Thank you for being here. I want to repeat something I said at lunchtime, and I will continue to repeat it. What I understand is that of the people who died in the last week from COVID, 93% of them were not vaccinated. Think about that. That of the people who died of COVID last week, 93% were not vaccinated. So you can make your own choice as to whether you get vaccinated or not, but just understand now that people who are not vaccinated are the ones that are dying at far greater numbers. And I don't want to lose any of you. Jorge Cruz said, remember when setbacks are only challenges in disguise. Look at them as lessons. Don't waste time beating up on yourself. Just get back on track and focus on what it is that you want. It's up to you, and you will do it. I would ask you, Bernice, have you had that discussion? If I do get sent back, what is the process for me to come back and be with my husband? All right? So think about that. Have that conversation and make sure you understand what you need to do. Rather than beating yourself up for what you're not doing, appreciate and celebrate what you are doing. When you shift your focus away from what you don't want, you can create a vision for what you do. Don't fight with yourself. Focus on what you can do, choose to do, and are ready to do. All right? And so think about that. Beating up on yourself is not a good use of your time. And it is very destructive to your karma. Jody, I know that you have worked tirelessly to fill up your deep freeze so that Lionel will be fed all the time that you're in hospital and after you get out of hospital. I know that you have made 1,001 lists on all the things you need to have ready, and that tomorrow you will start packing your suitcase ready to go to hospital. So my question to you is, will you ever have it all done, right? I think the answer is you will have the important things done, but some things that are on your perfectionist list might need to wait a while. And, I am pretty sure from what I know about Lionel that he is more than capable of looking after both of you, if need be. I think, Jody, to say you've been planning would be the understatement of the year. You have been making lists of your lists, all right, for at least a couple of months now. Lists of your lists, And the amazing thing is that you have got this far and you have done so much. So again, I'm hoping that Bernice understands that, having the list of the list is a good idea. You make sure you get everything written down so you know what you have to do, and so that you can keep checking it off and know that you have done your best. Whatever way, it happens. If you've forgotten something, Jody, it wasn't that you didn't think of it. You just never got that far. And that doesn't mean you're a failure in any way. It just means it was an overwhelm. So the only thing that concerns me is that you get to the hospital and safely have that operation. Because even if you left all your clothes and everything behind, I know Lionel will get them to you. Irit's asking me what city in Canada I am in. I'm about an hour away from Vancouver. Let me put it that way. Okay, most people have heard of Vancouver, and I'm about an hour away from there. Yeah. So Jody, all that we really want for you is to be able to get there for the operation, have a safe operation, come out of it without too much pain, and then let Lionel take care of you. That will be difficult for you because you like to take care of Lionel. Well, hello. And I know that you're going to say to me, but Sal, he spent so much time looking after me. Well, that is the way he loves you. And, I need you not to feel badly about that because that is the way he loves you. And he shows you that all the time. So you hang in there, girl. And, I'm pretty sure that Lionel will let us know. And, I did ask at lunchtime, guys, that, for Lionel to let me know when she's out of that operation safely so that I can then let you guys know. And that is obviously very important to us all. And then after that, I will obviously be in touch with Jody as best I can and keep you informed of how she's doing. How about quit beating up on yourself, beat up on your goals instead? Think about that. And how about there is no use beating up on yourself about things you cannot change? Bernice, you cannot make that decision for a judge. That's for a judge to decide, right? Or, the numbers are going to add up one way or the other. And you don't have any control over that because you don't know what the numbers are and how to get them. So you just have to trust in things. And sometimes it doesn't go the way you want it to. So be prepared for both. Remember, be prepared, not scared. I would really recommend be prepared for it to go either way, and then, you will be prepared. That's the only way I can word it. The toughest thing is facing yourself. Being honest with yourself, that's much tougher than beating up somebody. That's what I call tough. And so look at it and go, we're all doing the best we can. I know that, I was definitely beating up on myself because I've done all this work, but how come I'm not losing all that weight? Well, I'm not. So now I have decisions to make, right? Do I want to change my eating habits even more and therefore lose weight more quickly? I have lost weight. And I agree with Jody, who says, Sal, you've been putting on muscle. Jody, I'm beginning to believe you on that one, that I have been putting on muscle because I've definitely, been using a lot more of my muscles and I'm stronger in areas that I wasn't before. So, and muscle, is weight, but my stomach is definitely fat. So now I've got to look and do some research into what do I need to lose stomach volume. And I am certain some things work better than others. But it is my goal to continue on that path. And I won't quit on me because I don't do that. And first of all, I need to get what the medical things are sorted out so I understand them and understand what I need to do. And then I will go on again and start doing what I need to do to get myself in the shape I would like to see myself. And I thank you, Jody, for reminding me to not beat up on myself. Because I do work hard at trying to eat more. I'm not perfect about what I eat, but that's not what I ever wanted. I wanted to slowly learn how to eat more healthily. And actually I do. That's the truth. But it just takes longer than I would like because I'm not perfect at it. I can just have to, I don't have to stomach it would be the word. But if I choose not to change more of my habits, then that's something I'm going to have to accept. I've got that choice. And so now what I'm looking at is, will I put even more liquids into my diet. All right. So that's something that's easier to do for me. And that's what I'm looking at. To basically try and keep to liquids all day and then have an evening meal. But the liquids can still be of value. I will put, a banana into a shake, for example. But it's, that makes it what I call, it has food content in it. But it is a liquid rather than my body trying to process solid food. We all beat up on ourselves, and we need to be aware of it and own it and acknowledge it. And then we need to take a good hard look and say, what do I need to do as my next move in the right direction? That's it. What do I want to do as my next move in the right direction? Could I have a vote as to what do you think I'm going to eat for dinner? Do you think I'm going to have the kebabs or the chicken? Remembering I'm going to have it with chow mein. I'm thinking the kebabs would go better with chow mein. What do you think? And then I will wrap up the chicken nicely and have that. Number one, I can refreeze it now and then just warm it up for dinner, because I've got 1, 2, 3 more meals that are available to me after the one I have tonight. So I don't know about you, but I thought that was a great way of making one chicken breast go a lot farther than it normally would. And, think about those sort of things. And when you do that, you will save a lot of money. Why? You're only going to eat half a chicken breast, not a whole one. But it won't feel like you're eating half of one because of all the things you added to it. All right, enjoy your food. And if you notice, I did not add any carbs, did I? All right, I didn't add any potato to it. I didn't add, sweet potato fries or anything. So it's possible to do. So Jody, I am going to add to what Nyasha has said, which Nyasha is saying, just go in with a positive mind. No negative thoughts are allowed. I would say have whatever thoughts you want to, just control them. Even if you have a negative one, just turn it around and go, that's quite normal to be a little scared. Do you understand what I mean about turn it around? I would say it would be unrealistic not to have some, negative thoughts. Yeah, sure. It'd be unrealistic. And I don't want that for Jody. All right. So if you do have a negative thought, just turn it around immediately and go, yeah, I know. But this is what I choose to believe, right? And just turn it around. You know how to do that. But what a kind thought, Nyasha, that you would want her to do that. I appreciate that. So everybody, have a wonderful weekend. I'm hoping that you will. And I am going to go and enjoy my food. I was thinking pineapple would have gone well with chicken as well, wouldn't it? As well as the orange, instead of orange. How about, adding pineapple to it? That would be really nice. I'll keep thinking, and we'll do another one where I will, think about it again and see what we can do. This is DearMamaSal saying, beating up on yourself is not fair. You're a nice human. You deserve support. And for all of you who are going through tough things at the moment, believe in yourself and believe that you will cope regardless of what is happening. And then take the next possible step. All right? I know that I cannot take the next step on my health until I find out what's wrong with me. And I will find that out, next week. Do you understand? Oh, pineapple and honey, even better. Pineapple and wait, maple syrup. Oh, We can do this, people. So in the meantime, get some ideas what to do for the next chicken breasts, all right? And then we'll take everybody's ideas and I'll put some together for you. How's that? I hope you enjoyed it. Jody, keep up the good work. I'll be in touch with you, of course, right the way up until they jab a needle in you. But other than that, no, we're all here. Cranberries. Yes, cherry. What about black cherries? Oh, that would be good, wouldn't it? Black cherries and chicken. It's that time of year. Mmm. Possibilities. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, look after one another. Remember, we're all here supporting each other as we go through different times at different times. Some of us will have good times, some of us will have difficult times, but if we're all here to help one another, it is wonderful. This is Dear Mama Sal saying, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. Not only of the viewers, but of me as well. I really appreciate it. Jody, thank you for all you did to help me get through this week while I tried to find out what was wrong. I really, really appreciate it. And thank you so much, as usual, for being our admin. It wouldn't be the same. And so, it's just like really so important. Guys, have a wonderful Saturday, and I'll see you on Sunday. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now. I gotta eat chicken. Maybe not.